Hey everyone, welcome to Snap Take. It's Glazer, and today we're going to talk about the two new cards that came out in Marvel Snap. We have reviews of them and my thoughts. First is Chameleon. He is a 3/3. He is a Series 4 card. I got him when I opened Ezekiel Sims. I think that there is one of those weird pity timer things happening where once in a while you're able to get both cards just when you buy the Series 5. I don't know. I'm not guaranteeing that, but that's what happened to me, and I know it happened to many other people. So he is an on reveal. Copy the text of another card here. You revealed this turn, and I immediately read him wrong. He's not copy the text of another on reveal card here. You revealed this turn. He's copied the text of any card, which means that he's going to be good. It's a matter of time before we figure out the right home, the right way to play a card that copies another card's text. Want proof? Prodigy. Another piece of proof, not copying another card's text, but copying a whole another card, Frigga. This always ends up being a useful ability. It turns out that combo decks do want this, and we will eventually find the right combo decks. The place I like him best alone right now is the Thor's deck. This is Den's deck, and I'm not seeing this played nearly enough. Am I 1,000% sold that this is the exact 12 I want to play in this list? No, I'm not. But this is a really, really strong place to start. And this deck feels like it's going to put up enough points and have just enough disruption to be very powerful into the current metagame, where Shadow King is the king of the meta once more. We're going to talk about what Chameleon does in this list as we go forward. But for now, let's talk about card replacements. First, though, if you'd like to play this deck, I got this deck from MarvelSnapZone.com, where I very often write articles. I'm on a little hiatus right now because I'm trying to catch up with the videos, and catching up with the videos is my priority over some more Snap Zone videos for the time being. However, Den never takes a hiatus. Den is Marvel Snap Zone's main writer, and he built this list. He's a brilliant deck builder and top player, and put this one together. So make sure you're reading Den's articles. He's prolific and brilliant, and French. Sorry, had to say it. This deck needs both King Eitri and Bill. Gore can be Odin. I'm not 100% sure Gore is better. You do run a lot of on reveal, so Gore is reasonably big. Big is good. Chameleon or Mercury can be Absorbing Man, but I think, no, excuse me, Chameleon or what card am I thinking of? Chameleon or Misery, Mercury, Misery, or Misery can be Absorb Man. You want a way to copy an extra on reveal, and Absorb Man is the other card that does that on the cheap. Grandmaster can be Merlin or whatever sort of good to you're so inclined to run. All right, the hood is here because multiple demons are good. If you're not going to be able to get a double hammer off with Chameleon, the other thing you can do with Chameleon is on turn 3, play it with the hood. Getting 2 demons is great there. You can even make it 4 demons with Misery, and 4 demons is game-winningly painful for opponents, especially because you can drop another demon at the same time. It's really, really, really gross. King Eitri is absolutely required card. Unless you go Thor into Beta Ray Bill, playing Jane is usually a mistake in these lists. You can get to 9 power more easily playing other combinations of cards than just playing Jane. So if you just play Beta Ray Bill or your Thor himself, like Odin's son Thor, you play King Eitri, you trigger King Eitri, you get the benefit of the Jane without having to spend your whole turn 5. Grandmaster gives you a double. That's pretty good for Hood, but the other obvious use here is the hammers. You don't want to double Beta Ray or Thor unless you're guaranteed to Jane. You can double Thor in particular if you're guaranteed to Jane. Beta Ray, there's not a turn to do so. It is also, when you do these things, a reasonable card to Lockjaw. Decent card in the deck, not the best, but pretty damn good. Another thing you can do with Grandmaster is you can throw a Shadow King behind Invisible Woman. If you throw that Shadow King behind Invisible Woman, you can then throw a Grandmaster with a hammer on top of it. Shadow King will reveal. Grandmaster will show Shadow King to mid. Hammer will reveal and then buff your Thor or Beta Ray. Lockjaw is a nice way to use the hammers. The hammers then become a better card. Ideally Gore, but like obviously plenty of cards there are very, very nice. Hitting Chameleon is a little sad in that way, but it's still good enough. You also obviously can hit Grandmaster, your Hood, and so on and so forth. Just a good card to have access to in Thor decks, much like it was for ages back when Lockjaw was like his old broken self. Thors were one of the best ways to actually use the card. From there, we're going to sorry. From there, we're going to talk Invisible Woman. Invisible Woman gives you a way to use Shadow King, a way to not worry about priority. Basically, if you throw hammers behind Invisible Woman, you don't have to necessarily worry about the opponent's Shadow Kings and other tech cards affecting your Thors. It's a really nice place to be for that reason, although obviously if the opponent's running Cosmo or Alive, it's bad. Neither one of those cards are all that common right now. What you end up being able to do with that Invisible Woman as well is you can double the hammers if you're playing like a Misery or a Grandmaster or even a Chameleon back there. You can end up doubling your hammers at the end of the game, which is a strong place to be for entirely obvious reasons. Your opponent will have no idea your power output. Chameleon is here to copy once more hammers. If you're not copying hammers, you're copying hood. Those are the two things. You can also throw it into lockjaw in a pinch. From there, we have Shadow King. Shadow King is the best tech card in the game right now. Man Spider is everywhere. There's a lot of just green power floating all over the place. Shadow King is amazing into those matchups. Thor and Beta Ray Bill are your scalers. They put zero cost cards in the deck. I am personally never a big fan of this. I hate making my deck bigger. Like, absolutely hate it. It goes against every card game instinct I have. So I hate it, but they're just still good cards. They are occasionally meta, and I feel like this version is about as good as we get, as close as we get, depending on the overall power of the metagame. Misery doubles ongoing cards. Doubles on reveal cards. That is amazing for the hammers and amazing for Hood. Feel free to make your stuff big. Jane gets your hammers. Gore is keyword big. If you don't have anything else going, he can just win you the game, especially if you manage to do some Shadow King Invisible Woman shenanigans earlier. If you win Invisible Woman into like Shadow King Grandmaster, that's going to win a reasonable amount of games. I think against like a zombie deck, and then you drop Gore on the last turn, you're usually going to be able to win that game. So this just makes too much sense to me. I need to play this some more, but so far so good. Turn 1, you want Ichiro over Hood. Turn 2, Lockjaw over Invisible Woman. Turn 3 is Thor over 2+1. Turn 4, we want Bill. Bill is generally better than Thor over Thor +1. Misery on Hood or 2+2. We can also double Hood with Chameleon. And then we can build up Misery that next turn. Turn 5, if no Itri or both Thors, we're going to play Jane. If not, we're going to play Misery, or we can do a 3+ Invisible Woman or a 3+ Lockjaw. This is our last Lockjaw chance. Or we can do a 3 Invis, 3 Lockjaw, or we can do a Misery. All right. Oh no, sorry. The Grandmaster with Shadow King. That's what I was looking to say. Sorry, it's been a hell of a day. Turn 6, Shadow King, hammers, Chameleon, go off, or just drop yourself a big old gore, win the game. Again, I'm not sure this is the right home for Chameleon, but Chameleon is going to find a home of the like of this. Just ready yourself for this to be a meta card at some point down the line, and people to be like, oh man, I wish I saw this coming with Chameleon. We're not done talking about Chameleon. Our second deck also has Chameleon. I think this is a serious sleeper card, but we're also going to review the other new card, Ezekiel Sims. Before we do, if you like this content, please hit a sub, leave a like, and leave a comment. It really helps us out when and if you are willing to do so. In addition, we are giving away a season pass. We are giving away Spider-Punk this week. All you gotta do is sub, like, comment, and the videos. Your comment should be specific on each video. I'll ask a question later. You leave it, you're entered to win Spider-Punk. It's pretty simple. If you like the videos anyway, you're enjoying them, sub, like, and you might as well get a free card out of it. All right, Ezekiel Sims is a 2/2. After you play a card with higher power here, give this +2 power and move this to another location. This has been harder to use than it looks because often you want to play on specific locations in Marvel Snap. You don't want to just play wherever Ezekiel Sims happens to have landed. That said, the main use for this card has been to have a nice, easy way to trigger Superior Spider-Man. I don't think I really need Ezekiel Sims for that. He tends to be a 2/6, which is fine, right? Like, you'll play a 2/6 that gives you that helps you get +1 energy every turn, fine, but he's not great. If he was a 2/3, we could start to really talk, but at a 2/2, he's just like, he's too underwhelming, especially if you draw him anytime after turn 2. An okay card, but not one I'm happy to have. Also, that looks a little bit like Beast and a little bit like Hyde. Not a huge fan. All right, from there, let's talk about our friend Teebs Surfer. Teebs, if you missed it, won the most recent Golden Gauntlet tournament. She's an absolute beast at Marvel Snap. Won the most recent Golden Gauntlet tournament. I'm so sorry, Teebs. Came in second in the most recent Golden Gauntlet tournament. My phone notifications are going crazy. Stuff is going on. IRL, my loves. Sorry. But Teebs came in second in the most recent Golden Gauntlet tournament. She's an absolute monster of a Marvel Snap player. Always does really, really cool things with the new cards, and is a long-term Silver Surfer lover. Loves Surfer almost as much as Arrow. All right, so this is a really, really cool deck that I wanted to feature, not only because Teebs is on fire right now in Marvel Snap, but also because what we see is Ezekiel Sims, Chameleon, Spider-Punk, and Superior Spider-Man in one deck, which I think is pretty freaking cool. That is a bunch of the new cards. This is the Ezekiel Sims makes the not Chameleon. We don't want Chameleon. Ezekiel Sims makes the Superior Spider-Man thing go in really, really cool ways. So I like this an awful lot. I don't think this is the best thing we've ever done, but I do like this a lot. I think it's pretty cool. This is not a very surfer meta, but this is a powerful deck. You can find Teebs at twitch.tv/Teebs. She largely streams on new card day, so if you want to see some cool brews for new cards, make sure you're checking her out. This deck only really needs Chameleon of the high series stuff, although I want Carter or Shaw in this pretty badly. Superior can be Luna, but like then the deck falls apart, right? Like this is built around Superior, so if you don't have Superior, just play a different deck. Mercury and Punk can be Shaw or Carter. I think I would likely be adding Shaw or Carter to this over Mercury and just saying I lose to move, fine. I do want Spider Punk here. I think Spider Punk is really, really good with a single mover. Like if you run one or two movers in Spider Punk, you're playing like a 7-11 to 7-15, and I think that's absolutely worth. Sorry, a 3-11 to 3-15, 7. He gets 7 after one move, and I think that's absolutely worth doing in most decks. Um, Sims is fine, but Sam Wilson does the same basic thing. So if you own Sam Wilson, don't go out of your way. Basically, if you play Sims on 2, you're going to be able to trigger Superior next turn immediately, right? If you play Sam on 2, same thing with the shield. Sable, and Aranya can be Nico or America, just one drops that trigger. Aranya is obviously very, very good with the Spider Punk, so don't do that change if you're running Spider Punk. You do need a one drop that gives a green power for our good friend Superior. Surfer First Steps is great. I love Surfer First Steps. This isn't my favorite Surfer First Steps list. Can be Copycat. And I'd probably play Shadow King right now over Mercury, but it's close. So like I want one more power card out of this. And we're using Spider Punk and we're using like quadruple Surfer as that extra power, but I'd still like to get that extra power in there if humanly possible. Whatever. It's really, really close. Maybe it's just absorbment. Like we do also want a double surfer though, and we have like three ways to double surfer. We can even triple surfer in some circumstances, which is pretty insane. Silver Sable gives you green power, and it is a 1/4, so those are two good things. So that means we play her. We play her, and then we play Superior Spider-Man. We have extra energy. Superior is hugely important. We'll get to it later. Aranya does the Superior Spider-Man thing, but also Aranya is absolutely excellent in terms of Spider-Punk. If you can move Spider-Punk with Aranya, it's going to be a 1/8 and then sorry, a 3/8 and then a 3/12. I would love one more move for Spider Punk, but I can't really figure out what that is, unfortunately. Ezekiel Sims, every three in the deck, if you drop on Ezekiel Sims, moves it. If you move Ezekiel Sims, you now have the superior turned on. That's nice. It doesn't do anything else amazing, but it's nice to have access to that. Forge is another buff card. Forge wants to be played later with Brood. You'd much rather use the other cards as your buff, but you'll play Forge on 2 if you have nothing else. You can also play Forge into Superior, who triggers off himself. Surfer. You can copy Surfer with Chameleon, playing them both on the last turn of the game. You can copy Surfer with Absorbment. You can copy Surfer with Surfer for Steps. Sometimes you can do all three. If you play Surfer for Steps, you can then play Chameleon and Surfer in that lane. And like because you just double Surfered, you're now 3/9 Silver Surfer for Steps. You're now 3/4 Silver Surfer. That is now 9 plus 4 is 13, right? And now you have 16 uh, power in that lane that looked like it was going to be a fairly throw lane. And if you can hit that extra Surfer, you're fairly likely to win another lane from a triple Surfer. It's really, really, really good, especially if you have another card in there. That's a really solid thing to do in your Superior Spider-Man lane right now because, by the way, because Superior isn't a on reveal card, so you don't have to really worry about that. You can also, if you decide to add Carter or Shaw, do that in a Carter or Shaw lane, and then you're likely to win that other lane because you're adding 6 to like everything in the other lane. It's a really good place to be, especially if you got a Brood out. All right. As we go on, that we explained Chameleon. Chameleons can copy anything though, so especially if you get Spider Punk, your turn 5 can be Chameleon copying like a Spider Punk, and then you have an extra 3/7. That's a good thing to have. That moving negative power can really, really wreck an opponent's lane. You can copy an extra Mercury against a move deck and just say no, no, no. I'm going to move both of these to utterly ruin your life. Remember that moves happen first. You can end up playing it. You can't play it on Superior, but you can play it on turn 5 if all else fails on Forge, making it a 3/5. This can give you another card. You can copy Ezekiel, but I kind of hate that. It will move the first Ezekiel, and then if you can play another card there next turn, fine. In a pinch on turn 4, you can copy a Silver Sable or Aranya, but again, that's not really the goal of the deck. I'd probably rather hold it and play something else at that point. Spider Punk is just good power. Mercury stops move. Move is prominent and powerful. Superior Spider Man is sort of the build of the whole deck because it lets you do the Absorbment stuff. It lets you do 3/3 on 5 and 3/4 on 6. So if you go 3/3 on 5, you're pretty good to go. And then you can go 3/4 on 6, which is if you don't see the Chameleon, you can go Surfer Absorbment. Then we go First Steps, gives us our extra potential for a extra Surfer trigger. It can hit Forge just fine. It will also move Ezekiel Sims and so on and so forth. It's not amazing in this deck. This is like it usually wants a Gwenpool tip, but it's still pretty freaking good. All right, that's it. That's the list. Absorb Man can is generally meant to copy Surfer. Don't be afraid to copy Brood as usual. If you go Forge, Brood, Absorb Man, you're still in really good shape to win a Surfer game, right? You can still end the game with a double Surfer at that point, and like you're really happy. All right, so rank 2, Golden Gauntlet World, and almost all the new cards. This is a great deck. Turn 1, Aranya over Sable of Punk. If not, you just play Sable. So, sorry, Aranya over Sable if you have Spider Punk. If not, you just play Sable. Um, turn 2, Ezekiel over Forge. Turn 3, Superior Spidey, and that's a snap condition. Like, that's the whole deck right there. Is better than Move Punk, is more or less equal to Surfer for steps, depending on what your hand is like. Turn 4, if you played Superior, and then you can go Forge Brood. You are cooking with Hot Fire Gas. Or you can play a 1 and a 3. If you just buffed a card, Superior is still great. You can even at that point absorb your man if you Forge Brooded to get an extra brood and just go completely off. This is your last real chance to brood because you want to combo off Surfer on 6 though, so make sure you get a brood out. First steps and another 3 is really, really good here um, as well. Turn 6 is Surfer Abs or Surfer Chameleon and then win. You do really, really want to see Surfer. This is a Surfer deck that loves Surfer. I want some more ways to amplify the Surfer buffs. Again, that is the one thing I think this deck is missing. I would like space for a Carter or Shaw because I want to amplify those Surfer buffs. Outside of that, I think this deck is utterly gross, even if this isn't the perfect meta. There is a time that this is going to be one of the best decks in the game. Mentally prepare yourself for it. It is coming. This is really, really cool, and it runs a ton of new cards. Remember, though, I think Ezekiel Sims is Ezekiel Mids, and I think we are going to break Chameleon. Get ready. Hey, I know a lot of people think Raid Shadow Legends is just a meme and they're not the biggest fans in the world. That is totally fine by me. Obviously, you're welcome to think whatever you want about whatever you want. However, I absolutely love Raid Shadow Legends. I'm having a blast with it. I wish this was like, I don't wish this was a joke because then I'd be really sad, right? But like, I wish more people believed me because I think this game is a blast. I think you don't have to spend a lot or any money to have a great time, and I'm enjoying making content for it. So if you're willing to check that out, please check out one of my raid videos. We should have another one going up this evening. So if you're willing to check it out like 5 p.m. ish, um, it's me like learning from my editor about like how to build things and what's important. And it's just really cool. I don't know. I'm having genuinely so freaking much fun with this. Hopefully you check it out as well. You can get $200 worth of free stuff. Do it. Come check me out on stream. I meant to stream tonight, and then there were some shenanigans with when this video went live. You might notice it's a little late. Again, real life things be happening. So twitch.tv/PulseGlazer. I will be live tomorrow evening. And our season pass question is, what are your view of Ezekiel and Chameleon? Do you think I'm right about Chameleon? Do you think I'm right about Ezekiel? Let me know in the comments. Finally, if you're interested, check out patreon.com/snapjudgments. Certain tiers of support come with on-air thanks. Thank you to Jonesy Snap 22, Abigail Geeson, Mandatory Burnout, LEB, Inc., I Am Frostman, Ironcloak, Hota Navdete, Prime Ryan, Ryan Burke, Ryan Wood Snap, Ren Wrench, Vera, Group Math, Go for Kev, Caretix Lee, Koire, Kazushi, Archangel, 3K, Black Dahlia. Math, I told you something to do yesterday, so if you're seeing this, do it. Black Dahlia, Pyro, Goatsy, Code, Hollowed Synth, Fat Nick, Absolute Shannon, Turtay, Dark Moogle, Mr. Fuffle, Cables, Gingy, Philly, Haplo, Kenny Loggins of the Digital, The Bizza, Black Jeebus 23, Skippy G, Jessica Gamble, Slush Death, The Kingerbros, Bro, The Great Kazoo, Werewolf, Kipsuda, Colt, Clam, Colonel Foreman, David Moo, Wingfield, Stephen, Brian Kaufman, Tristan Martin, Jason, William, Billy Nix, Ray Sean Smith, Charles, Washington, Corwin, John Q, Jimmy Q, You Stout, Ace H, One Big Man, Cactus, Steve-O, Yomarco, Ted Pro, Gripper Joe, Snap Decisions Joe, Pickety, Pickety, Boom Bop, Bricks 2 Click, Aku, Green Goblin, Flan 56, Spectrum Mix, Woot, Only Fox, Matt Ace, GJ, Micah Jinx, No Freaking Flex, Nick, The Greek Geek, Toxic, Soul King, King of Killer, JJ, Demon Falcon, Foth, Thorn, Newman, Two Ties, Great Lordos, The Pirate King, Tucker, and of course Gunny T, where the T stands for Snap Judgments. More videos tomorrow, more videos every day. Keep it here. Peace.